Good evening, Goffstown, and welcome back to the Grizzly Den, where we're here live for Goffstown Grizzly varsity basketball playoff game. And well, we were talking last time how the season flew by, and now we flew right to the playoffs. And you aren't going to have a flashback, but we are playing the Alvirne Broncos again.
Yeah, it's like Groundhog Day. We were just here.
That's right. And it was, well, you know what? Alvirne put up quite a fight. That was a tough, competitive game. And I'm looking at this game to be very competitive, too. I'm almost a little worried or nervous about how competitive it might be.
Yeah, it was a dogfight last time, 36-30, two low-scoring teams. Really just nobody could get that separation until that very, very end, really.
Yeah, and clearly, and, you know, in the interviews after the game, we had Abigail Astano and Maggie. It was not Goffstown's best game, but certainly it probably wasn't Alvirne's best game either. Shooting-wise, they had a lot of trouble. I expect tonight that we'll probably see a different approach from them, and they're going to be tougher to beat, and we're going to have to be a lot better.
Yeah, I think so, too. When you see an opponent this close, you know, a couple days from each other, what may have worked last game won't work tonight.
Right.
You know, the other team is going to game plan and get ready, and if we thought, you know, we allowed you to do certain things last night or last game, that won't happen tonight.
Yep, they certainly are going to prep for it, and unfortunately, Goffstown's not going to go into this game at full strength. So we have an injury, and it's going to be to one of our important starters. Meredith Winterburn will not be in tonight's lineup. She's a scratch. So how do you think that's going to affect the Grizzlies and Coach Largy's strategy for tonight's game?
Yeah, I think it makes a big difference. I mean, Meredith is somebody who has been here for several years. She brings that experience even from last year's team that made a deep run in the playoffs. Somebody who's got some size, can rebound, shoot the three, provide some, you know, support to Maggie offensively. So I think it's a big blow. I really do. I'm not saying that there's nobody else that can step in and do the same thing, but I just know you get used to certain players performing at certain levels, and when you take that away from your team, you now have a new challenge.
Right, and obviously it also means it's a lot of minutes. I mean, Meredith plays a lot of time, and she plays in both defensive and offensive situations, like you said, and she's a sort of a stabilizing force for the team. So it's more than just replacing the points. It's replacing everything, the rebounds, the dribbling. She's primarily the player inbounding the ball.
Yep.
So that's going to change the strategy.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things that Alvirne tried to do early on last game was double team, you know, Maggie. And if that happens, somebody else has to step up to be able to control and handle the ball. That person has been Meredith in the past. Who steps up tonight?
Right, that's going to be the key. So what else are you looking for as the keys of the game?
Well,
what are your keys?
Look at I came prepared
I know you
tonight.
Are. You're always prepared.
I was eating my
and
lunch
I'm always
today.
winging it.
I was eating my lunch today, and I said, let me put some thought into this. So number one, I think for both teams, one of the keys is handling your emotions. So for Goffstown last game, those emotions were senior night. That's a big night in the life of the program and these families. Tonight is playoff basketball. Somebody goes home and their season's done.
Right.
That's it. It's one and done. So how do you manage those emotions? You know, where you may have had some anxious, now the nerves set in tonight. And I think it's a challenge for both teams. Alvirne, I think, proved last game that they can hang at this level with these, you know, second tier of teams we've talked about. So, you know, how does Goffstown respond to the pressure? How does Alvirne respond to the pressure? And it's playoff basketball.
Correct. And if we remember the last game, Alvirne basically provided, not only did they double team Maggie, but they also applied that pressure really all over the court. We saw them pressing, we saw them in the defensive zone, and really, to steal a term that I learned from Maggie, is they were really getting into the shirts of the Goffstown players. And we both could very clearly see and read the frustration on the Grizzlies team with trying to deal with that pressure. And you can bet damn well, sure, they're going to apply it again.
I agree. You know, the other thing I always dreaded when I coached, the game that happens when there's no school. So players, just like at this level, the professional level, they have routines. So normally you go to school, you get out of school at 2:30, you have practice, you have game, you have a regimented schedule. I'm not sure what the girls got to do today. They didn't go to school.
Right.
So did they have shoot around this morning? Did they lay around watching Netflix?
What was their eating schedule like?
Exactly.
What
So,
did they eat?
you know, sometimes you find out which teams are better prepared on a day off. And it sounds corny, but it really, I've seen it time and time. At the high school level, at the college level, it's a different flow to their life. So you're going to see who's ready tonight.
Right, yeah. And so both teams are, of course, coming out for their warm-ups. So basically, it's going to be the same lineups as we saw the other night, which was just Friday, right? So
Yeah.
it's just a few nights ago.
Feels like last night.
I know,
but
it feels like it does. It is kind of weird. You know, obviously, except for the big hole that it's going to be created in the Grizzly lineup with the absence of Winterburn. So I think in tonight's game, it's going to be important. My feeling is for our bigs to step up. We're going to really need to see Penny Annis and Ella really step in and play strong underneath, under the basket, getting the rebounds, and really putting up some offense.
Yes. And I think, you know, one of the other things I'm seeing is there's 3 officials tonight. That changes things for some teams. Because there's an extra set of eyes, do more fouls get called? And if you remember to that last game, Alvirne had some trouble scoring. They had trouble putting the ball in the basket, but they got to the foul line because we were over-aggressive and reaching in. What happens tonight? Yeah, what happens tonight with 3 officials? Sometimes that changes. We don't play with 3 officials all year, and I've always been opposed to this as a coach. Why now? Why in the playoffs? You're essentially changing the rules of the game. We haven't played with 3 all year, now we got 3. So if they do a good job, we won't notice there's a third one. But I guarantee you there will be a little difference in the way the game is called tonight.
Right, yeah, and, you know, we're going to have to overcome that for sure, along with the emotions and sort of the excitement of being a playoff game. The other thing is this game's starting a little earlier.
Yeah.
Than we'll
get home earlier.
Well, we'll get home earlier, but also you don't have the same type of crowd. But at the same time, there is sort of a different feeling here because it is a playoff game. So I'm sure all these girls are a little nervous about that too.
I agree. You know, I think some of the things for our Grizzlies, you know, last game, Astano had a big night. Offensively, defensively, she was a difference maker.
3 threes.
Yeah, I think who becomes that Abigail tonight? Who steps up? Is it her again? I hope so.
Right.
Or is it somebody like Reese that really gives us solid minutes and some buckets underneath? So I think the Grizzlies are going to rely on somebody to have a night. And who's that going to be?
Right. And well, I remember Friday we were waiting for that something to happen.
Yeah.
And I remember as we were talking throughout the game, we always had that feeling that we were just on the edge, and once somebody clicks and it snaps, we'll be all right.
Yep.
Abigail hit a key
Huge,
3,
yeah.
And I think that was almost, I think we both felt that was a little bit of a turning point when that happened, and the Grizzlies did end up squeaking out the victory. But it's going to be harder to come by tonight. As far as with the Broncos, we got a few players that we have to look at again and keep an eye on. Obviously, Ella Hartson is sort of their, I think she was the leading scorer on the team for them throughout the season, and she did provide a lot of trouble with Goffstown last Friday night. But also she was getting a lot of support from Courtney Anderson and Sadie Rogers. So those are 3 key players. I'm sure Largy circled them on the dry erase board or whatever, that they're going to have to keep an eye on them and probably keep them to the outside because it'll highlight the fact that they do have a hard time scoring.
Yeah, and I felt like any one of those 3 could have a really excellent night offensively. They all 3 could as well, but I feel like you know you're looking at some younger players that really can have that breakout game, and they're well coached. And I think offensively, any one of them could just step up tonight.
Right, and we found defensively, I mean, they played very well. So if it's the same, I expect more of a low-scoring game again.
I do too.
And I think the higher scoring it is, I think that favors Goffstown.
I do too. But I will tell you, the one thing I was extremely nervous last game, Alvirne didn't have a problem getting off a shot. The shots didn't fall. What happens if those shots do fall? You know, we talked about it in the last broadcast. A couple of those shots go down early on. We're down 6 or 8 points pretty easy.
Right.
So making sure we're still defending and don't allow them to get those great shots off. And, you know, anything can happen and shots start to fall and changes the game.
It does.
Yeah.
It changes momentum. It changes everything. And really, basketball, as Largy has said many times in Coach's Corner, it is a game of momentum. It's a game of
runs.
swings
Yeah,
and
it
runs.
is.
And Alvirne, what you do remember from Friday night is they were shooting from all over the floor. So they're not afraid to take threes. And it's not like they feed just one player to take them. I mean, Hartson is the main player that they try to feed, but there wasn't a problem with Floyd taking shots, Adams, Rogers, Anderson. They were all willing to shoot from pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, and the one thing, you know, I think for the Grizzlies is Coach will have a game plan. And the one thing I would remind my team is you guys won 13 games this year. You're 13-5. There aren't many teams that got double digits wins. You're one of them, and you got 13. You had a phenomenal year. What things worked this season, let's replicate that in the playoffs. We know it was good defense, and then we can put our pressure on if we want to in our full court press. You know, is it driving to the basket and getting fouled and get to the foul line? So find out what made us successful 13 times this year, replicate it tonight.
Yeah, one of the keys was that made them successful 13 times this year. The games that they played really well in was when they had their transition game going. I'm going to be looking early to see how that transition game is taking place or shaping up. Because, again, with the tight defense that I expect Alvirne to play, the transition's really going to be the key.
I agree. I think, like you said before, I think we're in for another tight game. That heavyweight fight, punch for punch. Yep. We're going to see what teams got. And, you know, each one of them are going to go through a spell where shots don't fall, there's frustration, there's some fouls called, or, you know, things don't go your way. But how do you weather that storm? You know, and is it a short run? Is it 1 or 2 mistakes, or does it compound and become 5 or 6 or 8 things that lead to the other team scoring 8, 10 points?
Well, that's the weird thing about tonight and how I feel going into this game. I mean, it could be a very tight, low-scoring game like we saw on Friday night, but on the other hand, it wouldn't shock me if either team started jumping out to a big lead and turns this game into a blowout. The thing is, I feel just as confident Alvirne can do it as confident as we can do it. So that's going to be a real key for the Grizzlies. They got to maintain that composure, and there's no reason why we can't win this game, but Alvirne knows that they can come in here and steal one too.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, if the first quarter can be a barometer from the last game, you know, we put 15 points up in that first quarter. We held them to 7, and they only made 1 shot. They made 1 3-pointer. The rest of them were free throws. So, again, if we can get those 15 points and average those 15 points a quarter and the game gets to be a higher scoring 60-point range, I feel good about the Grizzlies too.
Grizzlies shot, yep. So it should be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to hopefully the crowd is starting to fill in a little bit better. I mean,
we got here. I thought, is anybody coming tonight?
Yeah, I know. I didn't know if anybody knew, but you know, that's the thing. It's obviously it's not on the schedule. You know, the game was just figured out. Actually, going into this game, and I think as of last Friday, it was looking a lot like the Grizzlies were going to open up against BG.
Yeah.
And then because of the way the other games fell, it worked out that it was Alvirne again, the Broncos. So should be interesting. And there's our Meredith Winterburn going by, and as you can see, she's not dressed, so she is a scratch for tonight's game. So I don't know. It should be exciting to see what's going to happen with this, and hopefully they have their scoring caps on, Rob.
I agree. We'll see what they've drawn up and which coach is willing to make a change in what they did last game. You know, maybe it's offensively or defensively or some sort of pressure, but do you change your game plan from the last game?
Do we have the starters for the Grizzlies?
I'm sure we do, but you'll have to get them from Al. I can't talk to him.
Okay.
I'm on a no contact order with him.
Right,
no, I'm just kidding. Before we get too far removed, I do want to say it's a pleasure all season to sit next to you. I think we have a lot of fun together.
Right, this is why we do it.
It's pretty natural for us to talk and just talk about a game. We watch a lot of games together. The GTV crew is great. Everything we've ever asked them to do, they come through.
Yep.
We work out our audio issues. Things move forward. But thanks to Dave and Jen and Aiden and Dan is the new guy.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for all you do. It makes our job pretty easy.
Well, yeah, it made the whole season great and stuff like that.
I just didn't want to forget. I felt like either way, at the end of the night, if we had a really good night or a really bad night, I'd forget to thank everybody.
That's
so
right.
thank you.
Yeah, so and sometimes I feel guilty at the end of the night. They won't even let us help them when we offer to
clean up. Yeah.
They do a lot of work. Post game and pre game, setting this up. I mean, we come strolling in whenever we get here, and we got our table here, and we got our headphones all set and everything ready to go, and then afterwards we keep them here late because we do the interviews and coach's corner and everything else, and they got to hang around and stand here and wait for us to finish to break all this stuff down. So it's
a good team effort, and we appreciate them. I will say, if there are other people out there that like this kind of thing, don't be afraid to volunteer. Reach out to GTV. There's tons of sports, other activities, and programming that they do. I think it's great to give back to the community. I know our players love what we do, but now we find out that their grandparents in Arizona love what we do.
And Georgia.
So it is fun when we know people are taking advantage of this service we can provide.
Right, yeah, and like I said, we enjoy doing it. So we will be turning over in a few seconds to Al, and he'll have his numerous announcements to make and stuff, and that's the other thing that's going to be different, because now we really go with some of the NEI, what are they?
Yeah, the NHIAA. They control the format.
A lot of letters.
Yeah, they control the format, so it's even and fair play. You can only come on the court 15 minutes before the game with a basketball. There's certain ways you read the starting lineups and the pregame announcements. So it's all controlled to give the fair play.
It was interesting because sometimes when you come in during the season, you'll see some of the girls stretching out or maybe jogging a little bit. Of course, most of the time we come in, the JV games going on.
Right.
But the thing is, the rule tonight for supposedly a 6 o'clock start was that nobody can get on the court until 5:25, and then you were allowed on the court if you wanted to stretch or jog or whatever. You weren't allowed to have a basketball on the court until 5:40.
Yeah.
And obviously the rule applies to both teams, so that's just part of the competition committee here.
That's right.
Of what they're doing. So we got about a minute to go.
Yeah,
We're
and we did
to
find
Al.
out some interesting info earlier on. Both coaches have coached a number of years against each other, including at a middle school level, high school level, so they know each other pretty well.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we'll be turning things over to Al. Al will make his announcements. And, of course, we'll roll into the national anthems.
And then we'll be ready.
I wonder if Al realizes he's got to put on the headphones yet.
Well, don't let him put them on too soon.
Well, that's true.
We don't want to censor what he says.
He looks bewildered.
Well, he couldn't figure out
he noticed the headphones.
How the headset worked. He couldn't figure the ear flap last time.
Yeah, that was funny.
It spins around.
Yeah. Well, we pick on Al because we love him. It's all good fun.
Yeah, and hopefully we get to see some of the guys' team here tonight. They won't play till tomorrow night. So
but they got a big playoff game.
Yeah, maybe they'll come and support the ladies, and the vice versa. Ladies can go tomorrow night. And
so without delay, we got the fossil Al, who will be taking over the broadcast here.
Yeah, and then we'll be back and get you on the other side.
That's right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Goffstown High School for tonight's 2024 NHIAA Division I Girls Basketball Preliminary Round game between the Broncos of Alvirne High School and the Grizzlies of Goffstown High School. And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. For Alvirne at forward, a 5'11" freshman, number 15, Courtney Anderson. For Goffstown at forward, a 5'11" senior, number 15, Penny Annis. For Alvirne at forward, a 5'9" sophomore, number 11, Julia Adams. For Goffstown at forward, a 5'11" senior, number 12, Ella Mallowan. For Alvirne at forward, a 5'10" junior, number 20, Ella Hartson. For Goffstown at guard, a 5'6" senior, number 13, Abigail Estano. For Alvirne at forward, a 5'8" senior, number 12, Sadie Rogers. For Goffstown at guard, a 5'10" freshman, number 22, Reese Still. For Alvirne at guard, a 5'5" senior, number 4, Rachel Allard. For Goffstown at guard, a 5'10" senior, number 1, Maggie Sasso. The Broncos are led by head coach Frank Jurginis. He's assisted by Jay Thomas, Kendi Barnard, and Naomi Rascata. The Grizzlies are led by head coach Steve Largy, assisted by Nate Bracey, Cassidy LaLamere, and Scott Brannon. Our officials for tonight are Kevin Semperini, Michael Crosby, and Randy Hobbs. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise if you are able and remove your hats as we honor America, our servicemen and women serving all over the globe, and all of our veterans with the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the NHIAA and its member schools want to thank you for coming out to support your team this evening. High school sports are an extension of the classroom learning experience. The student athletes competing today have worked hard in the classroom and on the court this season. As we encourage them to demonstrate good sportsmanship, we would also like to ask you, our fans, make this event a meaningful one for our athletes by showing respect for your team, the opposing team, the coaches, and the officials. And in the unlikely event of an emergency or fire alarm activation, all occupants are asked to leave the gymnasium via the nearest exit. These exits are located on the left and right side of the stands. And fans, please be reminded, for the safety of the players, coaches, and officials, no fans are allowed on the playing surface at any time before, during, or after the game. Thank you.
Okay. So we have the opening tip-off with Penny Annis is going up against Ella Hartson and the Broncos ball. So
here we go.
Here we go. Anderson, the ball over to Allard, and again, no fear of shooting. She fired a 3 from the outside. Anderson again going in, kicks it out. Another long shot that was taken by Adams and missed. Sasso will bring this down for the Grizzlies. So Sasso with the ball, looking around, trying to direct traffic. And Sasso again around the perimeter, feeds Reese Still. Reese throws it out to Astano. Astano tries to penetrate in, backed out to Still again, back to Sasso. Sasso is going to go in, put up a shot, missed. She got her own rebound though, Rob.
Twice.
And twice. Pulled down by Adams.
Yeah, 2 good shots.
That's good. Maggie's going to have to get in there and get aggressive. She knows she's going to probably have to do a little bit more on top of everything else she normally does with Winterburn out. Anderson goes up underneath.
Travel.
And they call the travel. So Astano's going to be inbounding in this one.
The Grizzlies were very patient on that first trip. Did get allow Maggie to get 2 really good shots underneath.
Oh.
Yeah, we're foul number 1.
And that one is on Rochelle Allard.
I thought you were going to call that from here.
Yeah, I know. Well, we knew Alvirne was going to be aggressive, and they're especially going to be aggressive on Sasso. So Astano inbound this right in front of us to Maggie. Sasso working her way in again. Broncos doing a good job of keeping the Grizzlies on the perimeter. Still did a good job of keeping that ball Grizzlies control. Maggie throws a 3 and hit it. Sasso hits a 3. I like that. Sasso hits a 3.
That's a good confidence builder for her as well.
Hartson over to Ella Anderson, who fired it up just off the back rim. That was actually close to matching it.
That's 3 really deep perimeter shots for Alvirne already.
Yep, Sasso fires another 3 from almost the same spot. It's amazing how one goes in and one misses everything. Allard now with the ball. Headmans this out to Adams. Adams back to Allard with Stano on her. Oh, Allard goes down.
A lot of contact there.
No call.
Wow.
And that went off Allard, so Grizzlies will get the ball back.
I think the Grizzlies are lucky there. Here's that replay. A Maggie shot.
Well, you worry when they switch to the 3 officials that more will be called, but hopefully what they'll do is let these girls play. Last game was chippy at times, but I thought it was a fairly balanced scoring. I mean, reffing game, We've done our fair share of criticizing when it was necessary, but...
Yes, I didn't think that was necessary last time.
Yeah, no, I know. Although we had fans coming up to us saying that they really disagree.
I think some of those fans might have been frustrated too.
Yeah.
Another quick one for Sasso.
Yeah, Sasso comes underneath and was aggressive on that. And Hartson made a nice move on Reese. Feeds Anderson to the outside. Again, they're putting up a 3.
Grizzlies look to run. That's a foul.
Still.
Yep.
That was on the floor. Well, to the script, the Broncos have some shooting problems. I mean, scoring problems, but not shooting problems. They shoot from anywhere.
They love to shoot,
often,
yeah.
Which is good, right?
Right.
I mean, how many times have we said, shots aren't
Great
taken,
play.
don't go in. Yeah.
And that, quick timeout for Alvirne. It also is very important. One thing I didn't outline in the beginning is, doing those little things right. This is a great example. This last out of bounds play to Ella. If you can get an easy 2 points off an inbounds play under your basket, here's the play again.
Nice turnover.
She was wide open. And if you can get those and create offense that way, it's a good night.
Yeah.
Takes that pressure off your offense every trip down the floor. So doing a lot of little things right.
Well, and we've seen the Grizzlies have a number of good looks already tonight.
Yeah.
So you had Maggie really had 2 good looks out here in the top of the perimeter for 3-pointers. One went in, the other one missed. But she's getting the opportunities, and that's really the most important thing.
She also had that high screen and roll with Penny, and Penny rolled to the basket. Pass was made. It was deflected out of bounds by Alvirne. But that's another good play to have in the arsenal. If we can get Penny or Ella rolling to the basket and maybe get an easy shot.
Right, and overhearing the Bronco coach a little bit, he wants them to play a little bit more to their style, which is more aggressive and not leaving people wide open underneath. So I expect Alvirne here just off this timeout to really turn it up defensively. So this is Hartson now with the ball. She's taking it out. Feeds Rogers over in the far side. Now over to Adams. went over to Hartson. She came underneath and put it up.
Yeah, it was a good take by her to the basket.
And again, this one off the Grizzlies. So Hartson will maintain control, or the Broncos will maintain control with Hartson inbounding this. Hartson to Allard. Allard fires up a three, again, right off the front rim. Anderson did a good job of hitting that away from Astano. Allard with the ball on the outside. Reese still on her. Hartson now around Abigail Astano, but kind of hit away by Reese.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a jump ball underneath.
The big Grizzlies ball. We got our first subs of the game.
So we got Caps and Dodge coming in, and that's going to take out Astano and Ella Mallorin. So we got Morgan Dodge inbounds this now for Maggie. So Sasso's working her way down the court. Again, what the Broncos want to do is keep the Grizzlies to the outside and stay close to them. Maggie again worked her way in.
Another good shot.
Yep, just didn't drop in.
Yep.
That went off the Broncos.
Yeah, Keeley came down with the rebound, and then Broncos tipped it out.
So the Grizzlies will maintain control here. Caps to inbound this. Throws it out to Sasso with Hartson on her. Still tries to create the pick. Gets open underneath. Still put it right up. That was a nice shot by Reese Still. The freshman. We've been impressed with her most of the year when she's been in. Rogers throws it out to Anderson. Anderson's working her way in. She's sort of wide open. She kicked it out to Allard on the point. Allard put up a three and went off the rim. I think Anderson had the shot.
She had a better shot, I think.
Yeah, she was right under the basket. Morgan Dodge out to Sasso.
I like the high screen and roll here.
Yep. And Floyd's going to work her way in for the Broncos. A long shot by Penny Annis from the three, top of the key.
Yeah, Reese with a little fight in there and hit it off the Broncos.
So Floyd comes in, and she's going to be subbing in for Julie Adams. Caps now with the ball. She's going to be inbounding this with Floyd on her. Caps is looking for Sasso. She's going to inbound this. She took too long.
That was a quick five.
It was a quick five, but, you know, Grizzlies seem to be guilty of that
Yeah.
Sometimes we've been lucky on those calls.
The play got to develop a lot quicker.
Yep. Hartson over to Allard. Across to Floyd. Floyd in the Hartson. Nice pass there. Okay, Broncos are working it around. They work it underneath the Hartson, and they get their first bucket.
Yeah, great ball movement there, and they found the player inside the key.
A lot of nice, clean, quick passes, and that's going to be the key for the Broncos. And they want to get in close. Oh, Sasso was going in for the layup. Anderson took it right out of her hands. Goes up and tries to get the layup and missed.
I'm not sure why that wasn't a foul, one way or the other. Either Dodge fouled her or there was an offensive foul, but there was a heck of a lot of contact.
There was a lot of contact. Here's the replay. I don't know. I like the none call. I think basketball needs a little more violent. I mean,
violence?
A little more contact.
Easy.
Peyton Duff worked her way into the game. Taking out Morgan Dodge because Morgan went down kind of hard on that. Anderson now with the ball. She works her way underneath again. Puts up a layup, just missed. Caps fights for the rebound.
Coach takes a timeout.
Timeout for Grizzlies.
30-second timeout.
Yeah, Caps went to the floor with Rogers, both fighting for the ball.
Yeah.
Caps did have control.
Yeah, it's a natural instinct to call that timeout. You know, this is a game where I don't know if you call it on that. I want all those timeouts in my back pocket in that fourth quarter.
Wow.
This is just a philosophy, but I like to be in control in the end of the game. And there have been times where I notice teams, they don't have that last timeout they need. You're under 30 seconds and you need to drop a play. So we'll see if it comes back to haunt them.
Well, on the other hand, too, if the Grizzlies have certainly come out in this quarter pretty hard, and they're kind of establishing control now. So you don't want the ball to slip away now and sort of get the Broncos back in. So maybe kind of kick them when they're down type of thing. Again, I went to a violent thing again. Why do I keep doing that?
I know. What's going on with you tonight?
I don't get it. All right, so Caps is going to be inbounding this to Sasso, and the difference is the Broncos seem to be playing a little more passive tonight defensively. They were more in a pressing situation on Friday night.
Here comes the trap now.
Of course, they were all over Sasso there. So there's going to be a foul here called.
And Maggie.
And it's on Maggie.
Yeah, so it looked like the change tonight is Alvirne is letting them have the ball at the top of the key, but when it gets to the sideline, that's where they're trapping.
Well, and that was really the first time, because I remember now Friday night we were using the word swarm a lot.
Yeah.
And that was really the first time they swarmed Maggie. Hartson went in for the easy layup here. Kind of unchallenged. I'd like to see the Grizzlies get a little more aggressive under the basket on their own end. Ooh, Ella could have been a foul there, but she maintained.
Good move.
It was a great move by Ella.
Yeah, she had great composure all the way through that move.
Yep. Again, controlling underneath. She's got to use her size to her advantage, and she did on that. Anderson now with both Mallorin and Rogers. They feed Rogers underneath.
It might be 2 on Maggie. This is a big problem. It is.
Yep, they are calling Maggie. Dodge is coming back in for Estano, and still is going in for Sasso. Sasso's clearly a little frustrated,
That's a big
I think,
problem.
with that call.
I mean, now ball handling's an issue.
Hartson gets the ball out to Allard. Allard to Anderson. Anderson around Mallorin. Going to make another call. Is this going to be on Mallorin?
Yeah.
Yep. So this is sort of what we were talking about before. Last Friday night, the Grizzlies started to take a lot of fouls, and we were putting the Broncos on the line, and that's where they were getting the majority of their points.
Absolutely.
Anderson put one up, but missed the first one. So she's going to be taking her second shot. So Anderson trying to get one. Adams is going to work her way back in the game. Anderson did sink the second basket. And Adams comes back in for Allard. And
Clock ran. Should be about 1:52.
Yep. Oh, look at that. Boy,
Look.
you are good. The official came over and told the scorer's table
Yeah,
it
the
should be at
clock was,
152.
clock was running.
The clock kept running even after that whistle blew.
Yep.
So
Just
now they got to reset
slip
the
of the
clock.
finger.
This is clearly something I would not be good at.
The clock.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything to do with technology. I'd rather sit in the corner and just count. I can count, but if I got to run a piece of electronics, I don't want anything to do with it. No, I'd start sweating and panicking. And I don't know how you do the shot clock on St. A's. I could never do it. Duff to Dodge. Dodge fires a long three from Vaughn's corner. That's right.
Big shot.
Ava Vaughn, I'm thinking of you.
She's here again tonight, I saw.
Is she? I didn't see
She
her.
might be on spring break.
Oh, there we go. All right, so Adams now with the ball. And she tried to put it up on Caps. They're going to call Caps, I think.
Yep.
So Julia Adams will go to the line.
There's that shot from Dodge. She
And
drained it.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a good shot. And, a needed three, because we were kind of, even though we were clearly ahead, we were kind of stuck on 11 for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
Penny Ennis is going to come back into the game, probably for Dodge. Julia Adams, first one up, missed. Nope, she's going in for Mallory.
He likes to split the post players when he can.
The Twin Towers.
Twin Towers, give him a little break.
So Adams will put up her second shot. And she sunk that one. So Caps over to Morgan Dodge. Dodge is coming in over half court with Adams on her to Peyton Duff. That was almost lost. Duff out to Reese Still. Back to Duff. Duff working in on Floyd. And Dodge underneath. Tries to feed Penny Ennis. It was hit away.
Tough pass, but a good look. I like that.
Yep. Pass was a little low, so it was hard especially for Penny.
Yeah, those post players want to throw it high. I don't want to bend over.
Yeah. That's a long way down for Penny. So Floyd sends it over to Rogers, back to Hartson. Morgan Dodge all over her. Caps with the interception on Rogers.
Great hustle.
Now there'll be a call here on Rogers. Caps did a great job stealing that ball away. So we're down to a minute in the first quarter. 14-6. Allard's coming back into the game for Hartson. So Caps here is going to be inbounding this pretty much right in front of us.
Yes.
And she sends it over to Peyton Duff. Duff coming in. Ooh, high to Penny Annis. Penny tried to hand back to Duff and almost lost the ball.
We're going to get another foul there. No foul.
Foul. 23.
Floyd.
23, that's Floyd. So now the Broncos are catching up in the fouls.
Yep, even 4-4 there.
So Wild Caps will be inbounding this.
And she gave you a wave.
That's right. Caps over to Dodge. Dodge.
She needs to focus on the
Right
game
up
and
front.
not you.
Everybody should focus on me. Peyton Duff. Duff, tried to feed
Stepped
Reese
out.
Still, and that was almost stolen by Anderson.
We're starting to see a little bit of that absence of Maggie up front with the ball handling. Gets a little tricky.
A little bit of sloppiness, maybe
Yep.
a little bit of nerves. This is why you need somebody this is where Winterburn
Meredith,
and
yeah,
Sasso
yeah.
make a big difference in that sort of calming influence here. Morgan Dodge around over to Peyton Duff.
Oh, I wish she
Duff
would have
underneath.
looked to shoot that.
Yeah, she was behind a bunch of trees. Feeds Caps out high. And that was only a 2? I
Yeah.
thought that was a 3-pointer. So 17-6. Floyd now with the ball to Anderson. Anderson, the impressive freshman for the Broncos. We were impressed with her last Friday. I'm equally impressed with her tonight. Allard now with the ball. Allard up, just missed dribbled. It kind of went off
Somebody's
Morgan
foot.
Dodge.
Yeah.
I think it went off her hand.
7.4 seconds here.
So we want to prevent them from getting a score. Floyd thought about the 3, but she backed out. Down the 3. She's going to take a long 3, missed everything, and that's it.
That was a little gift from the fans. They started that countdown a little early for her.
Yep. So 17-6. I'm encouraged with the first half. If we remember going back to Friday night, as you reminded us of the score, it was 15-7.
So it's very similarity as far as scoring, but it's got a different feel to the game.
Yet you feel the Grizzlies have a little bit more control than they did,
Yeah.
I think, Friday night.
And that swarming trap that Alvirne had last game, I don't quite feel it. They have had some sideline traps, but the Grizzlies have been able to get that high post. They've been able to hit some threes, drive to the basket, so a little bit better flow offensively.
Yeah, there is seem to be a little bit better flow. It looks like to me that the Grizzlies are playing tonight with a little bit more speed than we had Friday.
Yeah.
It just seemed to be slower, and I don't know if that's because the Grizzlies are playing faster, or I really think a lot of it is the Alvirne's not doing that swarming.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be. They're playing a little slower, I think.
Yeah.
Because before it felt like as soon as whether it was Maggie or Meredith or whoever touched the ball, it felt like you looked up and there were 3 Broncos on every single player. They were almost chasing the ball around. That's a tiring way to play basketball, but it was a lot more effective than what they're doing tonight.
And I think the challenge for the Grizzlies will be, your captain leader has 2 fouls. How long can we keep her on the bench?
Why did we lose a point? 16-6? I don't know what happened, but the scoreboard clearly says 16-6.
I have 16 in my book, so.
Oh, so I guess they had the wrong score up there.
Yeah.
So they've been having technical issues over at the clocks.
Oh, my goodness.
So anyway, Allard now with the ball. She comes up underneath and laid up a nice 2 right around Morgan Dodge and in front of Penny Ennis. So Dodge here with the ball. Oh, travel. Yep. And this is again where we need some of that sort of calming influence, that leadership. And with Maggie being in foul trouble, her not being out there. So 16-8 now. Hartson with the ball. She's moving in, backs back out. Penny Ennis on her. Allard over to Floyd with Peyton Duff on her. Allard comes in underneath. That's another layup for Allard.
2 quick ones for her.
That's right. Morgan Dodge to Caps, back to Dodge. Dodge is looking to Reese Still. Still over to Caps, who's going to fire another 3, and she hit it.
Gave her
She
2
gave her
again.
2 again. I don't know what she has to do to hit a 3, but
I don't know. I'd like to see these replays because
yeah, she seemed to be outside when she took that. Floyd Floyd with Caps all over her. Caps gets a steal.
Oh, good job.
But Hartson's coming in front of her.
Drag that last pivot foot there.
Oh, that's too bad. Caps outstanding tonight.
Here's the three. Yeah, she was on the line. That front foot she kicks out. All right, we're going to let the official off the hook.
All right.
For now.
Sasso, though, works her way back in for Morgan Dodge. So Sasso's out there. Allard is going to bring this ball up for the Broncos. Peyton Duff's going to challenge her at center court. Over to Hartson. Over to Anderson. Now to Floyd. Floyd with Caps on her. To Allard. Allard goes in, tries from the other side. She drew a foul, so they'll put her in the line. Peyton Duff with her second foul.
First.
Oh, Purse. I thought it was.
No.
Oh, it was Mallory.
Yeah.
It was Ella called. So Allard's going to take her first shot, and just off the back rim, coming in for the Broncos is Taryn Malikin for Floyd. Or Macklin.
Macklin. Yeah, Macklin.
Mac-in. There's no L.
I have an L on mine.
There is an L. Help if I look with my glasses. Astano comes back in for Duff. So Reese Still's going to be inbounding this. And Reese is going to inbound this to Maggie. Sasso works her way in. Looks around. Oop, thought she was going to take the three. Over to Still. Still threw it away.
The unforced errors.
Tried to go back to Maggie, yep. And that's sometimes those freshman errors, freshman nerves.
Yeah, it takes some time to mature and understand the situation.
Yep, she had a lot more time than that, so that's going to happen. Macklin,
back court. Yep. So another back-to-back unforced errors. So
she's a
sloppy
senior.
play here. Yeah, no excuse for her. No, it's tough. Again, this is playoff basketball, and sometimes you spend some time thinking through the situation, and you psych yourself right out of it.
Yep. But we went from an 11-point lead to only a 7-point lead, so we do got to pick up the scoring here. So we only got 2 this quarter so far. Astano to Caps. Caps to Still. Still out to Sasso. Sasso's going to fire a 3 off the rim. Penny Annis goes up for it, but Anderson got it back to Annis. And
good
into
drive.
Sasso.
Oh.
Sasso with a nice drive. That would have been nice.
Drive.
Macklin throws it back, and
I don't know who that was to.
Yep. I think they thought Hartson was breaking, but the only one that was breaking was Abigail Astano to get that ball in the backcourt. Sasso again. Caps. Out to Astano, to Reese.
Oh, good
Still
play.
over to Maggie. Maggie, again, if those start dropping, we'd be way ahead.
Careful, Maggie.
So you got Maggie going to do a
right,
jump
white ball.
Rogers.
This time I'm going to count to 5 because he was pretty quick last time.
Well, Caps will inbound it a little quicker,
1,
I think.
2. Okay, good.
Inbound it to Still. Still tried to go over Hartson.
Yep.
Not easy to do. Hartson's
Yeah, that's tough.
a little big, so she tried to feed Abigail Astano. So Caps is going to inbound this again right near us. Caps has the ball. Inbound it to Maggie Sasso. Sasso now with it. Goes into Abigail. Abigail to to Penny
Great
Annis
take.
underneath. Annis just a couple of bounces and dribbled, and she's right underneath
I really
the basket.
love that
Put it
move.
right up.
I'd like to see a few more of those.
That's a good move for her. Oh. You're going to call Penny for the block?
block on that, yeah.
I don't know. I felt like Penny was there. I felt like she established position. Here we go. Yeah, maybe she did step in front of her a little bit. So Hartson now with the ball. Ella Mallorin came back into the game. Okay, Rogers now with the ball for the Broncos. Out to Allard. Feeds Rogers underneath. Rogers goes in for the layup. Just missed. Penny Annis comes down to rebound to Sasso. Sasso's looking to dribble it out. She's coming up. She's going to bring it right down herself, coast to coast. Again, off the rim.
They're really giving Maggie a lot of space to drive, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
not
charge.
dropping in.
Yep.
They're going to call Rogers for the charge this time. So Caps took the foul. And she's relieved that she's took the foul and didn't get it.
So Rogers picked up that second foul.
Fain is coming in now for the Broncos. Morgan Dodge back in for Caps here in the Grizzlies.
Caps has put in some really solid minutes tonight.
Yes,
she's
she's
solid.
been a standout on both sides of the court.
Offensively, defensively, just
couple steals,
yep.
Rebounds. Yep, she's doing it all. So Sasso now on top with Hartson. Abigail Estano with the ball, feeds Morgan Dodge from Vaughn's corner. Out to Penny Ennis up on top. Underneath to Ella.
Oh, she got hammered too.
Ella tried to go in, and Anderson.
Really like seeing both Penny and Ella looking to be offensive threats.
Right. They're both challenging and putting the ball right up, so it's good.
They have the size advantage. They have the height. Take it in. You know, what's the worst thing that happens, right? You end up at the foul line.
That's right. And Malloran's now at the foul line.
And that gives Anderson her second foul.
Good. Puts her in a little foul trouble.
Yep.
So Ella hit the first one. So she'll be taking her second shot now. Ella put it up, and that's right in.
Good job.
Nice. Nice shots. 22-11. Hartson now working her way down the court. Morgan Dodge on her. Oh. I don't know what he called.
Called an illegal screen. So that's 3 on Anderson. That's a big foul.
Yep. Floyd's coming in for Anderson.
I missed it.
What did he call?
I guess he called an illegal screen. I totally missed it.
So, all right. Inform Basketball for Dummies. Inform us what exactly is an illegal screen and how would I notice it?
Yeah, when you're setting a screen, you have to be stationary. If you're moving your arms or your legs and you're clicking them out, then that becomes a foul on you as the screener. So you have to be stationary. You want to run the defender into you.
Gotcha. Ella Malloran over to. Oh,
bingo!
Morgan Dodge. She hit the same three-pointer from, again,
right in the corner.
Ava Vaughn's corner. So Hartson now going in with the ball. She threw up a layup just off the rim. Penny Ennis comes down with the rebound. Peyton Duff. Duff brings it over half court to Reese Still. Still thought about the three, and then she
traveled. That little head fake.
She should have took the three.
She should have.
So there's going to be a timeout for Alvirne because there was a little run there for the Grizzlies.
And some really good things happening. You know, the play of Caps, I think, has sparked us a little bit. Shots by Dodge in the corner, that sparks you. And when you see Penny and Ella getting those shots and moves inside, all a good sign offensively.
Well, yeah, what's a good sign and what we've been sort of waiting for many games this year is the offense and the scoring seems to be a lot more balanced. I mean, they're spreading it around really good. And that stems from those post players underneath.
Absolutely.
Putting up the basket. So they got to guard against that, and that's leaving some of these outside or perimeter shots available.
The team becomes much tougher to defend. And, you know, Maggie at this point's got her 5. That's it. You know, 5 of the 20. What are we at? 25. So, you know, it is spread around, and it only helps us later on because now if you know Maggie's put up 20, I got to double team her. Well, right now, everybody's starting to hit their shots. It becomes tough to defend.
That's right. And you even got Morgan Dodge with hitting 2 threes.
Bingo, right from the corner. I mean, beautiful. And Caps was close on both of her shots out here. Both were 2-pointers, but darn close to threes.
Yep. So, again, so far I like everything I'm seeing with the Grizzlies, so that's good. The Broncos are coming back out here. We have 3 minutes, 3:20 left in the half. So, again, it's about maintaining control.
Well, the other advantage right now is with a little bit of a lead, you can sit Maggie, who's got those 2 fouls, too.
Right. So, you got Hartson to Fain to Allard. Allard takes another long 3. She's been shooting them all night. Hasn't been lucky enough to get one yet. So that went off the Broncos. Caps will be inbounding this to Morgan Dodge. Largy is sending in the play. I think if anything, he's going to just tell him to slow down and just No need to push anything. Just take a clear shot. Dodge to Still. Still managed to keep that in. Over to Duff. Duff feeds Ella underneath. Ella fires the three.
Okay.
Went right over, around, and it went right into Allard's hands. Allard to Fane. Fane fires it back to Hartson. Still on her. Hartson tries to go in. Feeds Floyd up high. Floyd hits the three. She hit a couple from that same spot last Friday night.
She did.
It was a nice shot by Floyd. She was wide open, and she would, that was almost in 4-point range there.
Yeah.
If they had a 4-point shot. That ball was hit away. Allard's coming in to do a layup. Caps could have been called for a foul, but was not, which is good. But Allard hit a few of those layups now tonight. Morgan Dodge. So that's going to necessitate Sasso coming back in. Also with Abigail Estano. As we get some of our smaller players out there, and I think this is where we're slipping a little bit. Caps, same point.
Yeah.
Floyd now comes down with the ball. Hartson. Hartson fires in deep to Fane. Fane underneath. Goes in on Ella. They're going to call Mallory for a block. So Fane will go to the line for the Broncos. So like I said, we got Sasso and Estano coming back into the game. Fane takes the first shot, again off the rim. Estano comes in for Duff. Who else came off?
Dodge came out.
Oh yeah, Dodge, okay. Because both Estano and Sasso came back in. Okay. So Sasso comes in with Allard on her. Caps, that was a three-pointer.
That's a three.
And she hit it. Caps has been outstanding tonight.
Very smooth and confident.
Yep. Hartson now with the ball. Hartson with Still on her. Hartson tries to work around two players over to Floyd. Floyd tries to feed Hartson underneath. Ella Mallard right there.
Good job, Ella, right there.
Another jump ball. Penny Annis is coming back into the game. She's coming in for Still. So Largy's been making some quick, clean changes here, and I think that's good. Keep them fresh. Adams comes in for the Broncos, replacing Fane. I think Fane had a good little run out there for the Broncos. She was the JV player who last Friday had a little disagreement with Addie Glazer. Adams now with the ball. Adams, left wide open,
nice
went
move.
in for the layup. Yeah, she went around everybody, and they left her open, so she had a lane. She took it. Sasso now with the ball. Up high. Feeds Mallorin to Caps. Caps on the opposite side fires the three just off the rim. Rogers now with the ball. She's driving in, and she put up a layup and missed. Mallorin gets the rebound.
Under a minute here.
To Sasso. Sasso.
Oh, good luck.
Underneath to Penny Annis, and she fights for the ball with Rogers and pulls Rogers right down. Should be a jump ball, right?
No, it's
They're
going
going
to
to call
foul Penny. 2 on her.
I don't know. I thought she had the ball too. Maybe she didn't.
I think it's sometimes the little extra rollover. Or I don't know.
Well, Hartson inbounds this to Allard. Allard to Hartson. Abigail Estano on her. Hartson kicks it out to Floyd. The same, literally the same shot.
Yeah.
Deep three, and she almost got that too.
She did.
Sasso there. 24 seconds to go. Sasso gets it over midcourt. Floyd on her. Floyd fouled her.
2 for Floyd. But both teams will be shooting 1-1 after this. So
19 seconds left to go in the half, though. To Sasso. Sasso's with the ball, with control. Grizzlies should be just looking to get one good shot off. Oh, feeds underneath.
I don't know how she got that shot
Penny
off.
Annis. I don't know if she got it off. She got it off in midair. But they're going to call Floyd, I think, again. Is this Floyd? This will be
screen
3.
and roll.
23. It is Floyd. That's her third.
Yeah, it is.
So this will put Penny on the line. just off the rim. Okay, Sasso's coming off.
Yeah,
for
you
Morgan
don't want to
Dodge.
risk that third foul in the last 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Penny Annis put one up, and she got that one.
Banks are open.
29-18. Hartson now with the ball on Allard. Hartson's working it down to Adams. Adams looking for Allard.
Oh, it's
Allard, a
deep
long
again.
three.
Jeez.
Well, we knew the Broncos, less than a second left to go.
0.8.
Broncos aren't afraid to shoot from literally anywhere.
They will.
And just like Friday, they seem to be a little challenged at actually finishing off the shots. They're taking them.
Yeah.
They're just not going in for them. So 29-18, that gives the Grizzlies an 11-point lead. That's a good thing to be going into the second half with. What did you like in this half there?
I like
Rob?
both. I liked our offense a lot. I liked a lot of different signs of maturing and composure of different players, from Cap stepping up to Dodge to our big post players getting some action inside. It was just well dispersed amongst everybody. And, if you tell me Maggie scores 5 points at halftime and you're still up 11, I'd say no way.
Right. Yeah. No. Balanced offense, and
Yep.
this is what we've been looking for, and it seems to be happening tonight. So they're playing with a lot more composure. So I think the strategy for second half is just more of the same. The Grizzlies just got to go on controlling this ball. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to step aside, and we'll be back for second half action in just a few minutes.
All right.
My name's Peyton Duff from Girls Basketball, and you're watching GTV.
Unified PE, period 5. The purpose of it is to always be active, as all PE classes are. So it's all about getting kids moving, having a good time. The role of mentors in there is to help teach kids different skills, and to kind of have an inclusive environment, and at the end of the day, just have fun.
I'd say my favorite part is the activeness and just the teamwork and stuff like that. It's a great opportunity to have fun for the kids and see the smiles on their faces.
I enjoy the excitement and how competitive they are when they're playing games and stuff like that.
I like how every day is different. There's no day in Unified that's the same, and I like how I laugh all the time in that class, and they just always find a way to bring a smile to your face, no matter how bad of a day you're having or how good of a day you're having.
It's very enjoyable.
Yeah. it's very rewarding too.
Mentors can and will experience teaching different skill sets. So you're looking at helping kids process the game that's going to be played. So working through the rules, where do I have to be positionally on the court or, in the game. Maybe even a little bit of strategy work. Sometimes it's going to be helping with a physical skill or a basic skill to help progress them to a more advanced level of a certain game. And also to just help, how do you work with other people in the best way possible, being positive, being appropriate, being encouraging, and just trying your best to keep getting better.
This is a small little community inside the school that is phenomenal, and it is just honestly inspiring seeing these kids, because most people don't think much, and they're bright kids.
I think that people think the gap is a lot larger than it is, when they really are just high school kids like the rest of us. They just need a little bit extra help in some areas. And I think being able to give them that help is a really rewarding experience. And I think it's one that I would say every kid should at least experience at some point in their life, because it teaches you a lot about yourself in the sense of how much you can do to help others, and it also, you are helping them a lot more than you probably realize.
The Manchester Transit Authority strives to provide the best experience possible so that residents can feel comfortable while they ride with us. Before your scheduled ride, you will receive a reminder call the night prior, as well as 15 minutes prior to the bus arriving. Please be ready to board within 5 minutes from the time the bus arrives at your location. Your friendly driver will park the MTA branded vehicle as close to your door as possible, including in your driveway if able. All of our buses are comfortable and ADA accessible. If you need assistance, your driver will be happy to help you get from the door of your home up to and inside the vehicle. There is plenty of room for groceries on the bus. A small cart is allowed as long as it does not block the aisle. The Goffstown Shuttle is here to serve the needs of the Goffstown community. Give us a call today to schedule your first ride.
Welcome back, Grizzly fans, and we're here for second half action. About a minute and a half from getting tip-off, or, well, no tip-off second half, just an inbound here. So 29-18, the Grizzlies up by 11, and basically like everything about that first half of the Grizzlies.
A lot of positive things to build on.
A lot of
offensively. I thought defensively, we held them to their outside shots from downtown 20 feet away. And, it's okay to give up that shot. Don't give up the inside stuff. Other than Maggie being in foul trouble, fouls weren't a big issue. So there were a lot of positive things.
Yep, there certainly was. And, there was positive things, too, on both sides of the court, defensively, offensively.
Yeah.
That transition game seems to be going pretty good for the Grizzlies. We had a few transition plays sparked, I think, by Caps with a couple of good steals. So we were asking before the game, we were talking about players stepping up, and we've really seen a couple, but I think Caps has been a highlight tonight.
Yeah, really. That
was the first half.
That was a Caps first half in my book. It was a lot of positive things by her. And I'll tell you, for those of you that aren't in the gym and can't see this, the Grizzlies came out of the locker room with still over 5 minutes on the halftime clock. Alvirne came out at 1:42. So I'm not sure which I feel better about, but I'm sure the Alvirne coach had a lot to say and some changes they might make in the second half. They need a quick start. Alvirne needs a quick start.
They do. And the Grizzlies need to maintain control. So
absolutely.
We're counting down the clock here.
Yeah, they're ready to play before halftime's over.
Go. And we're ready.
We're always
More
ready.
More importantly.
We're always ready.
So here we go. Astano's going to inbound this to Sasso. Sasso now makes her way over midcourt. Hartson on her. Feeds Reese still on top of the point. Reese is going to go in. She's swarmed by 3 Broncos, but Penny Ennis is right there to get the ball. Sasso tries to feed Penny Ennis, but she kind of missed past that a little bit and was intercepted by Rogers. Allard to Adams. Adams with Astano on her. Adams with the ball. Feeds Hartson. No, feeds Anderson underneath.
Good shot.
Anderson made a nice little turnaround layup and hit that. So Sasso now with the ball. Sasso looks to feed still. Still to Penny Ennis. Again, Grizzlies should just take their time. Sasso here with the ball. Goes in on Hartson.
Good take.
Puts up a layup. It was a good take and a nice basket, and we needed it. We need to match them. Largy looks like he wants the girls to play with a little more pace. I like them slow in the offensive zone. They don't need to play with that much pace. Defensively, yeah, be a little more aggressive. Anderson over to Hartson. Hartson going in on Ennis, kicks it back out to Adams. Adams out to Anderson, around Sasso. Anderson with the same layup she just took a minute ago and put up another one.
Quick 2 buckets for her this quarter.
That's right. And they should be getting in her way because she does have some fouls. So if she takes a charge or something, that would be good. Maggie pulled up and took a long three.
What happened there? She step out?
Yep, she must have stepped out.
Because there was nobody around her.
Yeah. So we don't know what that whistle was for. It looks like, it looks like she might have stepped out.
All right.
So the Grizzlies will inbound this. Astano to Ella underneath. Ella tried to go up.
Called a travel.
Took a little step.
Ella's going to shoot free throws.
No, she took a travel. Yeah, Ella thought she was going to take some free throws.
She did. She walked right to the foul line. I got this.
Okay. Hartson to Allard.
I'm not sure a coach liked that call either.
Yeah, even Largy thought her arm was hit, but it looked like she did take a step or two. Anderson again underneath. And Anderson,
find a way to keep her under.
Yep, she's the key freshman for them. I'll tell you, she's good.
Yeah.
Sasso pulled up and took a long 2, just missed, but Penny Ennis got the rebound, but I think they're going to catch Rogers on this for Allard. Yeah, it's Rogers, so that'll put Penny on the line.
That's 3 for Rogers, too, so you got to make them pay. Those that got 3, you got to really attack them here.
Floyd's going to come back into the game for the Broncos. Penny Ennis puts the first one up, just missed. Floyd's coming in for Rogers.
Rogers, yeah.
So 2 people, both of them have 3 fouls, so.
Yeah, you got to ride Anderson's hot hand offensives. I mean, she's got the first 6 in the quarter.
Penny Ennis with the second shot, just missed. Still comes down with the rebound, though. Out to Sasso. Sasso to Penny Ennis. To Astano. Over to Still. Back out to Maggie. Maggie on top. She's looking to penetrate in. She goes in with that little hook shot, but Penny Annis comes down with the rebound. Now Allard has it. Allard works it out for the Broncos. To Hartson. Hartson tries to go in, feeds Floyd out at three-point land. Floyd almost got it. Anderson went in for the rebound. She drew a foul. I think it's going to be on Mallory.
I don't know.
Ella
Might be
has
Maggie.
no idea.
Oh, it is Ella. So 3 for Ella now.
Yeah, Ella had no idea what she did. I don't know. I didn't, even on the replay, I couldn't tell if she got it, if she grabbed her arm or what. So Anderson now with the on the line. She missed the first one. Caps comes back in. And it looks like Morgan Dodge is coming in too for Astano. So you got Anderson now to the line. They've been having a little more trouble with the foul line than they were last Friday. Friday, they seem to be hitting a higher percentage of their foul shots, I thought.
Yep.
And that's just going by my old senile memory, not by any kind of stat I got in front of me.
Turnover.
Maggie Sasso tried to feed Dodge for the pass.
Oh, she made her pay for that.
Dodge zigged when she should have zagged. And so Morgan and Maggie are discussing that.
Morgan Dodge, that's her first personal foul, second team foul. Rachel Allard at the foul line, 2 shots.
So this will put Allard to the line. So the lead is down to 5 now.
Yeah, blinking, here we are.
Yep, 26-31. So Largy's going to call a timeout, and he's has to. All of a sudden, offensively, Grizzlies sputtered in a little bit here, and under with the help of Anderson, they climbed them right back into the game here.
Anderson's got a quick 7 points already, 2, 4, 6, 7, in this quarter. So she had 1 in the first half and 7 here, but she looks pretty confident out there.
Well, more importantly, so far this quarter, the Broncos have gotten 9 points, where our Grizzlies have only gotten 4. So
2. We had 29 at half.
Oh, 29.
Yeah, Maggie's got the lone bucket, so.
So
got to figure a way out to get that balanced scoring back like we talked.
Yep. So basically, we liked everything we saw in the offense in the first half, and then now the second half, the offense seemed to evaporate.
Absolutely.
So we got to get back. The Grizzlies have to get back to their game here, playing with a little more confidence offensively.
I'm hoping Caps will be that spark right here. She seemed to spark us in the first half.
So we got Caps still, Sasso, Dodge, and Penny Annis for the Grizzlies. You got Adams, Allard, Floyd, Anderson, and Hartson for the Broncos. Dodge here inbounds it to Sasso. Sasso works her way over midcourt to Caps, to Dodge, to Sasso. Sasso tries to go in underneath, and jumping right in front of her was Anderson, and got a piece of that ball, so it's going to be now the Bronco ball. So it's basically the same effect as a turnover.
Yep. Grizzlies are going to put some full court pressure on.
That's right, and it worked because Sasso hit that away. Just still out to Penny Annis to Caps. Caps working her way underneath. Threw one up. Good take it was. Rebound. Bounced around a little bit, but Hartson comes down with it in control. Hartson comes in, kicks it out to Floyd for another 3-pointer off the rim. Penny Annis gets the rebound to Dodge, and that was almost thrown away.
It was.
Morgan Dodge with the ball. Holds up, back to Maggie Sasso. Sasso goes underneath to Annis. Annis puts it up, gets her own rebound, put it up again.
2 shots.
Right, Anderson comes down with this. She's working her way down the court. On Caps, that should be, they're going to call Caps. I thought for sure Anderson was going to get the charge on that.
Last time foul number 23, Keelan Caps. That's her second personal foul, 13.
So that'll put Anderson on the line again.
2 shots.
So, and put up the first one and just missed. The Broncos are going to call timeout. So that's only going to leave him 2 timeouts.
Yeah, and a long way to go, but he's obviously got something he wants to tell him right here.
Right. Yeah, it's a
We'll
key
see.
point of the game. So since the last timeout, there hasn't been a score. So 31-27. So not good for the Grizzlies because they still haven't been able to solve the combination of getting a bucket.
Yeah, and they've gotten some really good looks inside. I mean, Penny got those 2 shots before, but
Right underneath, yeah.
Maggie's got a couple inside, and I think we're getting opportunities. We're just not cashing them.
So Anderson will go back to the line and take her second of 2. So the key is if she misses this, getting this rebound and maintaining control of the ball.
Yeah, no second opportunities.
That's right. So we got Still and Penny Ennis down low. Anderson took that second one. It went in. So Still's going to inbound this to Sasso. Broncos back out and give her half the court. Sasso goes in. Anderson and her feeds Morgan Dodge. Back to Maggie. Maggie went in, got it closer. She got her own rebound. Nice rebound for Sasso. We need some points here. Morgan Dodge fighting to keep it in. Anderson, great play to hits down that rebound. Then she's going to get the jump ball. And it's going to be Grizzlies will maintain control, but
yeah, sloppy.
Yep, we're starting to get a little sloppy.
Morgan took a good shot to the face.
Yeah, it looks like
eyes start watering, and
yep. Caps now with the ball, made a good play.
Drag
call
the
her
back
for a
foot.
travel.
Yeah.
Again, same effect as a turnover.
It is a turnover.
Well,
Travel
yeah,
is a
well,
turnover.
It
yeah.
is a turnover, right? Rogers now with the ball to Allard. Hartson's going to come back in for the Broncos. Anderson now with the ball. She's got a lane, but she sends it over to Rogers. Back to Anderson. Anderson thought about the 3, steps back and takes another 3, but Penny Ennis and Caps gets the rebound over to Sasso. Sasso with the ball.
I'd like to see Maggie go right at her. She's got 3 fouls.
Right. Oh, Maggie almost lost it. Got the Caps.
Short.
Fired a 3, but that was short. Allard comes down with this rebound. Morgan Dodge steps in front of her. That's an aggressive
That's 2 on her.
foul. Funny thing about Morgan, she never thinks she fouls. If she went out and hit somebody over the head, she would say, "No, I did not do a foul. I was aggressive. It was a clean play." Allard. Anderson now with the ball. Over to Hartson. Hartson feeds Allard. Allard takes the 3 and hits it.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it is a big one because now cuts the Grizzly lead.
It's tied up.
It's
that
tied
was a
up.
3, yeah.
That's right. It was 28 to, I thought it was 27, but okay. Tie either way. So the Broncos did a good job of coming all the way back. Third quarter, the scoring just seemed to stop for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, we got 2 points this quarter. Maggie hit 1 bucket.
Well, the Grizzlies maintain control here. They're going to inbound this. Figures, once we think we have breathing room and we look good, all of a sudden the wheels fell off the cart.
Good look.
Penny Ennis. Allard feeds Adams to Hartson. Hartson now takes a shot from the foul line, just missed. Adams gets the rebound, throws it up. Still comes down with the ball.
Very physical.
Yeah. So I think Adams will get this foul. I'm wondering if it's going to be on Adams or Anderson.
12.
12. No, that's Rogers. That's
so
her 4th.
Yeah. It's getting really physical. I think both teams, probably more so the Grizzlies right now, just very frustrated. You can see it.
You could see the frustration right on the girls' faces, but
you play 5.5 minutes and you got 2 points to show.
It's just been sloppy.
Very sloppy.
Yep, they're where they were playing great and holding on to the ball in the first half, they seem to be giving it away like crazy here in the second. Sasso with the ball on Adams. Sasso kicks it out to Still, to Caps, to Sasso. Maggie around to Adams in front of Anderson. I don't know if Anderson's getting this foul. That'll be her 4th.
Might be a I don't know if it's on her.
It's going to be
or
on
not.
Anderson.
It
15.
is, yeah. So that's 4 on her.
So keep driving to Anderson. She's their
You have
spark
to.
plug. She gave them all the points. So they're going to be forced to take her out. Floyd's coming in. Sasso puts the first bucket up. Anderson's coming off.
Yeah, and she's had a remarkable third period. She's got 8 points already in this period, 9 overall.
Yep. And Maggie hit them both, and we needed them. So I'm glad she got that. Still only a 4-point quarter, so this is pretty sad. Adams now with the ball for the Broncos. Feeds Fain underneath. And they're going to call Ella here for another foul, but I don't know if Ella just kind of doesn't know what to
4
do.
on her, yeah.
It doesn't look like she hit her arm. I mean, she jumped right up.
Close, yeah, it's close.
So Addie Glazer's going to come in, obviously for Ella. So Fain now is going to be shooting. And missed everything there. Glazer's coming in.
Glazer's first action tonight, and I think she's somebody that can help us offensively. She moves really well without the ball.
She does, and most importantly, she's very aggressive
Yeah,
underneath. So her and Fain will probably get reacquainted after the JV game last Friday. Maggie Sasso. Oh, Adams ran into Morgan Dodge.
Offensive foul?
No, they're going to call Dodge.
No, red 11.
No, 11. Okay. Morgan thought it was on her. She faded face again. All right, so one more, and we're doing the one-on-one.
Yeah, what? You can just feel the intensity.
Yeah, it's definitely picked up. It's very aggressive. The refs have changed, I think, the style of which they're calling this. I mean, they seem to be letting more of this go in the first, and now they're calling every little picky thing. Sasso put one up.
Caps was over the back there. That was Maggie. She just took responsibility, said that's my bad. She really forced that shot.
3 for Caps.
They'll be shooting 2 here.
So that's going to put who? Allard on the line for the Broncos. Allard hit the first one. It brings it back into a tie game, 33 all. And she just missed the second one. Addie Glazer came down with the rebound. Sasso now with the ball. Sasso with Hartson on her. Sasso slowing it down a little bit. Sasso now goes around the corner here, around Fain. And she drew a foul, so that'll put her back on the line. I don't know who it's on. 23, that's Floyd. That's her fourth.
4, yeah. So the fouls are starting to mount up on both sides, really.
Yeah, you got a few, though, in the Broncos that are in real trouble with 4 fouls. So Sasso puts in the first one. 14. This is going to be Chrisman coming in for Floyd. And Peyton Duff is going to be coming in for someone. Maggie missed the second one. Hartson came down with the rebound. Minute and a half to go. Grizzlies up by 1. Allard takes a long 3 and
nailed
hit it. And for the first time in the game, the Broncos took a lead.
Yeah.
Maggie comes in, does a layup, and the Grizzlies back to a tie game. They're pressing. Maggie fighting for the ball down low. It went off Hartson's foot, and it's going to be a jump ball here. Duff's coming in for Still. Coach Largy's trying to keep his cool here.
It's hard.
Yeah, but it's right. It's not
Things
easy.
slipping away.
Yep. All right, so Caps is fighting for it. Fain with it. Hartson now underneath. Throws up a layup. So that puts Broncos ahead again. Sasso coming over midcourt. We got time. Just try to put up that Sasso with a long 3 off the rim. Caps gets the rebound. Feeds Sasso again. Sasso underneath, the feed Dodge. Dodge takes a three. Missed everything. Addie Glazer caught the ball, but it went.
Tipped out.
Yeah, it was tipped out. But somehow, I don't know how we maintain control, but
We'll take it.
we'll take it. Duff keeps the ball. I don't know how that happened. Unless it was out of bounds on the throw, but even that would have been. Sasso feeds Glazer underneath. Glazer put it right up.
Quick shot, yeah.
Kind of as she was moving at the same time. Duff's going to get a foul here on this. So this is going to put Adams on the line. So Macklin and for the Broncos and Annis for the Grizzlies are going to come back in. So Julia Adams taking a shot here. First one of two. And missed the first one.
So when I said fouls are adding up, and this is now the 12th free throw this quarter for the Broncos. So they've been spending a lot of time at the line, compound with a couple deep threes. That's why they got back right in this game.
Yep. Adams going to take her second shot. And that missed too. Thank God they're not better shooters.
Yeah.
So we got Maggie coming in. 15 seconds left to go. Maggie bows out to Glazer, to Caps, to Maggie. 7 seconds to go. Maggie's looking to penetrate in. Went off her foot.
1.5. You need your best play. Get a good shot off here. 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, but the Broncos are going to be ready to stay all over Maggie here on this. So Caps is. Oh, I wouldn't call the timeout. I don't like the timeout with a 1.5 seconds. You're going to draw up a play for this.
That leaves you with 2 for the rest of the game. That's
yeah, I wouldn't have called it. I wouldn't have called that timeout.
No, I think 18 games in the season, you've practiced this. You have a play in your playbook for the 2-second shot.
And the odds of it working anyway are very slim.
At
Not
this
worth
level,
wasting
yes.
a timeout for.
Yeah. So we'll see. Now, he'll look like a genius if they get 2 points out of this.
No, he still won't look like a genius. Not on this. Coach's Corner will be having this. This question will come up.
Throw it at him. You've been ruthless on him all
Sorry,
season.
Coach, but, really, I don't know what you're thinking here.
Yeah.
Even if you get this, your answering could be good enough. Well, this is the worst of the worst really happened in this quarter. Going into this second half, you got to feel pretty confident. You feel pretty good being a Grizzly fan. Now all of a sudden we're losing the game. Maggie fires up a three. And
got a good
went
shot.
off the rim. She did get a shot. It was close, but didn't. So Alvirne worked their way right back into the game. They got to feel good. They're going to come into the fourth quarter with momentum. We're going to come in with a lot of questions.
Yeah, I mean, Alvirne put up 20 points that quarter. Remember, Friday night, they only scored 30 in the whole game.
Right.
So when we talked about this team is ready to score, you can feel it. They like to shoot. They no hesitation in putting the ball up. They put up 20 in the third quarter. So you got to find a way to slow them down. You got to keep them off the foul line. I mean, 12 free throw attempts.
And
is
we
a
only
heck
put
of
up,
a lot.
what did we put up, 5? 6?
We had 29.5, so that was at 7?
7 points.
Yeah, Maggie had all 7.
Yep. So where the offense, we were praising the Grizzlies' offense and how it was pretty equally distributed throughout the first half and everything the like. Now here in the third quarter, basically everything not the like. And this is sort of the way this team has been most of the season, sort of helter-skelter. And, 1 minute or 1 quarter you'd get unbelievable play, and then all of a sudden it seems like a different team came out for the second half.
Yeah, I mean, they had really good first half and contributions by everybody. And then here you just felt like that pressure. And I talked about at the beginning of the game, all the pressure is on the Grizzlies. You're the higher seed, the home court advantage. You just beat Alvirne the other night. Alvirne's got nothing to lose tonight. They come in here and upset you on your home floor. So that pressure gets stronger as you move forward.
Right. So now we got 1 quarter here to kind of make up for a dismal third quarter. Sasso starts it off right by hitting a bucket. So at least the game's tied again, so we got an even game here going into the fourth quarter. Adams now with the ball. Comes in and Penny Annis put one up and missed. Glazer comes down with the rebound to Caps. to Sasso. Sasso feeds Annis underneath. Caps goes for another 3. And that missed. Feeds Macklin. Oh, Sasso and her. She should have let her take the shot.
I'm okay. That's only 3. I'm okay with that one. You don't want to give up 2 points.
Well, I wasn't as confident Taryn was going to hit it. She's a bench player, hasn't played much, but, you know, maybe Maggie didn't realize that running down the court with her. Still's going to come back in the game, probably replacing Maggie for a minute or so.
I think you might get Glazier or Dodge here.
First shot put up by Malcolm. It was a miss. It's Glazer, yep. So Still back in the game. Macklin take her second shot. Put it up, and that went in. So the Broncos up by 1. Sasso coming down over midcourt. To Penny Ennis. It's not a moving screen.
There was no screen, actually.
No, there was no screen
contact
whatsoever, right. Sasso with the ball. Now that was a moving screen, and they'll get Penny Ennis on that because, and that's why the coach points that stuff out.
Yeah, because now it's in the official's head.
Yep, and he figures he owes him one, and he got it. Floyd's coming back into the game for the Broncos in place of Fain. Floyd's another one with 4 fouls, so I think we got to go at 23. We got to go at 15.
You have to, got to get him
when
out.
12's out there, go at her. Hartson now with the ball. Hartson comes up, puts it in front of Annis.
Good rebound by Still.
Yep, and Still came down with the rebound. Sasso now with the ball. Sasso works it down over midcourt. She's going to fire a 3 off the rim. Sasso collects her own rebound, puts it up, miss, but again gets a rebound. Third attempt went off the rim. Floyd comes down with the ball. Again, the shots that were going in the first half are not going in the second.
No.
Adams with the ball. To Macklin. Over to Allard. Allard with caps on her. Floyd. Up to Allard at midcourt. Into Hartson. Back to Adams. To Allard again. Caps tried to hit it away.
Oh, good swipe by Penny.
Yeah.
Slow down,
Penny
slow down.
Picked up the ball. Oh, Penny tried to handle it a little too much, and Hartson stole it from her and put one up. Little missed dribble there by Penny, and cost the Grizzlies 2.
Yeah, at that point, she did her job. She got the steal. Now find a guard and get up the floor.
Yep. Sasso underneath Annis. Sasso looking around. Sasso.
And they're going to call it on the floor. 20.
So that's Hartson.
That's only her first.
Yep. You know, I remember Friday night with all the fouls that was. I remember it was like in the fourth quarter, probably about halfway through. Hartson got a penalty, and I remember thinking, oh my God, that's only her first.
Yeah.
She's been out there basically the whole game.
Yeah, how's that possible?
Yeah,
right?
with all these people with 3, 4 fouls. And Hartson's a good player and always in the heart of the action. Hartson, get it? Sasso put 2 up on it.
Larky's going to take a timeout here.
That's going to leave him 1 now. Timeout for the
for the stretch. It's a long 5.5 minutes.
That's right.
Whoa, you know, we talked about the first half being such a good first half for the Grizzlies. You can feel that pressure. You can feel it in the crowd too. It's like
I feel it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
right
having
now,
that hard time breathing again.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm nervous right now. I mean, I'm not as. I really felt very confident at halftime. I was walking around thinking, okay, we're look forward to Friday night.
Yeah.
Wonder who we're going to be playing.
Yeah, I think things were clicking on both sides of the floor in that first half, but that's why you play 4 quarters. You know, going to have a phenomenal second half. Alvirne had a great third quarter offensively, so.
And that might be enough for him. I mean,
absolutely. Now, we did say early on that we thought if a game got, in the 50s or 60s, that's an advantage for the Grizzlies. So we're at 41-40. I don't know if that still holds true, but we'll see.
Yep. No, it's certainly a higher scoring game than we were Friday night.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, obviously the Broncos are hitting more shots than we are right now. So The Broncos ball. They're up by 1 point, 5.5 minutes to go. And this could be the season. Well, this is the season for one of the teams.
Somebody goes home.
Yep. So Hartson now with the ball. Gets it over midcourt. Hartson kicks it out to Floyd, and it was mishandled. So
yeah, she kind of tripped up on the pass, and
yeah, the pass was a little bit in front of her. So Dodge. So Sasso. Yeah, the coach said the same thing I was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, Ella had the Hartson had the shot. Why kick it out? Ooh, Dodge thought about a three. Oh, now she's going to take a three from midcourt off the rim. And a bunch of people went up for the rebound, but Hartson comes down with it. Hartson throws it out to Floyd. Back to Hartson. Still on her. Hartson tried to go in.
Yeah. Trap.
She did a travel. Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was an interesting call. I thought it was going to be a foul, but
I did too, but
that's good. Caps inbounds this. Allard's coming back in for the Broncos, but Sasso here with the ball on Anderson.
Sasso
hits a three. He needed that. No, she hit it. That was, they only gave her 2 for that, huh?
Yeah, she was inside.
Oh, all right. Anderson. They're going to call Penny Annis.
Again, there's a lot of contact in this game, and that was the least amount of contact Penny has had against an opponent. I don't know. That's a tough one to swallow.
Like I said, the officiating clearly changed from the first half to the second half, and I don't know if I'm really trying to put it down as much as I'm just questioning why things in the whole first half were kind of let go. They sort of let him play, where now it's every tic-tac little thing they seem to be eager to blow the whistle for. Rogers here with the ball. Rogers tried to feed Ella. Ella hit it away to Caps. Anderson coming in on her. Went off Caps' foot. Caps to Sasso, though. Gets the ball to Sasso from the floor. Sasso now with the ball. Ugh. Mishandled and stolen by Allard. So again, the Grizzlies do a positive and then do a negative.
Going to get a timeout from Alvirne.
So timeout?
Yeah.
So Alvirne has 2 timeouts left. Grizzlies have 1.
Now 1. So both are going to have 1 left.
No, he
said he had 1 of each left.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's not 2. 1 and 1.
But
one
you
of
get
each.
a 60 and a 30. So he was asking, what do I have left? And he said you have 1 of each, a big and a little.
Well, that's 2
big
timeouts.
One, little one. But now, if you take 1, 2 minus 1 is
1.
Congratulations. Both teams have 1 timeout. Trust me. Have I let you down on the scorebook all year?
No, but you just confused the hell out of me. The coach just came over and goes, how many do I have left?
Correct. Because he wants to know, should I take a 60 or a 30?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, that was a good little spurt right there by the Grizzlies. So let's get back to basketball. Math, we can
that
figure
is
out
basketball,
next time.
buddy.
We can figure out next time.
Most of the fans were at home like me, not knowing what the hell you're talking about.
Dave,
But I got it.
Dave, please prep the graphics for the Bob's math section at the
Go
end of the
online.
game.
My grandparents in Florida, Georgia, and everywhere else, go online and tell them that was very confusing, and they understand why Bob was questioning.
Thank goodness I'm here, but we'll have Bob's math segment at the end of the game. He'll take you through basic addition and subtraction.
Well, I'll take you through whatever you want to be taken through if we can win this game. I'm getting a little nervous here, up by 1 point. Broncos ball. Allard's going to inbound this. It's a 1 point game. Feeds Anderson underneath.
Good play.
Yeah, she was going out of bounds with it and chucked it back, but still got it. So Sasso now with the ball, coming in on Floyd. Okay, now on Anderson. Sasso again controlling the ball. She takes it underneath, feeds Ella.
Play.
Ella kicks it out to Still. I thought Ella had a shot.
I
there.
did too.
Where the first half she was taking those shots.
Yeah.
Sasso, this is where the confidence and, some of the inexperience. Morgan Dodge kicks it out to Sasso. Rogers on her. Sasso, I'd like to see her drive in. She's got a couple people with 4 fouls out there. Ella throws one up off
good
the
foul
rebound.
by Maggie.
Yep, Maggie followed that up and laid that in. Now you got Allard to Adams. Out to Allard. Over to Rogers. Rogers to Anderson. Anderson thought about going in. Ella on her. Anderson did go in, tried to lay one up, but it went off the rim. I mean, off the backboard. Sasso now with the ball, drives it down. Sasso's going to take a long three.
Yeah, it's going to be Reese over the back.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
still.
I don't love that shot by Maggie. It was a rushed shot, three-pointer. We were getting what we wanted offensively in the paint. I'd like to see us be patient. You got the lead. And,
Slow it down with the lead. Yep. Estano comes in for caps.
Put the pressure on the defense right here.
So Allard now with the ball. Morgan Dodge challenging her out at center court. Now to Hartson. Still on her. And back to Anderson. Anderson's the one to watch.
Oh, tough one there.
She kind of threw that away, trying to feed Allard with a pass. And I was talking to the Bronco coach earlier, and that's their freshmen, sort of like ours still. Every now and then they make these freshman mistakes.
Yep.
And that was a case of one. We saw Still do it earlier. Same type of pass, too, almost the same place. Sasso feeds Ella down low. Back out to Sasso again. Take your time,
be
Maggie.
Patient.
All right, kicks it out to Dodge. Dodge is going to take a long three.
No need.
Yep, Sasso, thank God, got the rebound with the help of Ella. Sasso puts another one up. Mallory.
Great
underneath.
job.
We needed that, too.
Absolutely.
Mallory grabbed the rebound and put it up basically in midair.
Yeah.
So now Hartson with the ball. Hartson driving in on Still.
Wow, nice move.
Yeah, she made a beautiful little hook shot. Laid that in. Estano now with the ball.
We got a fun 2 minutes lined up right here.
Yep.
I don't know if I can take any more.
Yeah, I know. 2 minutes left to go in the game. 3-point difference. Grizzlies the ball to Ella, to Sasso. Just take your time. No rush. Still turns around, puts it right up, gets her own rebound, throws it out to Maggie. Sasso steps in, takes a shot and hit it. Sasso
Drained it.
Drained it. Yep. Hartson now with the ball.
And that gives Maggie 10 this quarter.
Hartson now with Still on her. Kicks it out to Rogers.
Oh,
Rogers.
she got fouled.
And that was
That'll
a late
give her
foul.
3 shots.
That was after the shot.
That's tough because Ella's really provided some support down low.
I didn't like that call at all. That was way after the play. It was unintentional. It's not like she, it's just a player. It's just a case of a player trying to go for a block and then bump the other player.
Yep.
So Ella comes off. Annis goes in. So we're down to minute 20 left to go. 5-point lead for the Grizzlies, and this will put Rogers on the line for the Broncos.
I thought it's 3. It's 3. Oh, Al falling asleep at the wheel again. It's 3 shots, Al.
Well, Rogers hit the first one. It's a 4-point game. 2 shots left for Rogers. And second shot. Ooh, almost got that one, but she didn't. Third and final shot. Rebound's important, obviously. Rogers thinks about it, takes the shot, drained it. So 3-point game now with minute
20 here.
Maggie coming in. Hartson on her. Hartson to be aggressive. She's only got 1 foul. Adams, Estano. Maggie fed Penny Annis.
Oh, boy.
Coach Largy calls his last timeout. Well, I guess, good timeout. I think we're going to drop a play.
Well, I guess so. I mean,
I still would like to have one in the pocket, but
what happens at the end of the game if the game's tied and you don't have a chance to stop the clock? They always teach you keep one in your back pocket in the fourth quarter if it's a tight game. This is a tight game, but we'll see. I think Ella going out at that 5th foul is big because she started to control the paint down there. The pressure, you can see the Broncos' pressure is extending a little higher right now. A little more difficult to penetrate and get the ball inside. So Grizzlies got to take care of the ball. That's number one. Take care of the ball. You're up 3. You don't have to shoot unless it's wide open.
That's right. So just kill the clock. Yeah. No cross-court passes, just these short passes, dribbling around. And you're right, maintaining control.
Yeah, Alvirne only has 1 foul, so they still have a few fouls to give before we're in the bonus.
Right.
They're going to be aggressive.
Well, we knew this game was going to be tight, and they didn't let us down.
They didn't.
Where, even though after the first half we didn't think it was going to be tight, we thought we had control of this. And how fast the wheels fall off the bus here. Sasso to inbound this. So you get the most steady hands inbounding this. Now it's a question of where's she going with this. I would think Caps, but she's got to do something. There we go. The Penny Annis feeds Sasso. Sasso. Oh, I thought that was a backcourt.
There
to Dodge. Morgan managed to keep control of it, but it was stolen by Hartson. Feeds Anderson. Anderson throws it back to Adams. Adams put it up. Look at 1 point lead, less than a minute to go. Just don't lose the ball. It would be nice to have that timeout now, though.
Yeah, now you're...
Caps made a great play, keep control of the ball. She's staying out in midcourt. Astano, nobody shoot.
No,
Penny, went off Penny. Thought it was going out of bounds. Caps just hold the ball.
Hold the ball.
I like it. Maggie's got the ball now. Maker, all right, into Dodge. All right.
They're going to call that foul. Wow, a lot of time.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm going crazy here. Who's he calling a foul on?
Them. Red
4.
4.
That's Allard.
Yeah.
All right, 14 seconds to go. Okay, so the Broncos will take their last timeout. Wow.
You got 14 seconds.
That was intense. That was the longest 44 seconds I've ever seen.
They waited a long time to foul. I think he's frustrated. You can see it on his face over here, that Broncos coach. Now you got to get the ball in bounds. You have no timeouts. You got to get the ball in bounds. They only have 2 fouls, so it doesn't matter who they foul. They're not going to the line until you get to that 5th foul.
Right.
14 seconds is a long time, and if there's a turnover and a quick basket going back and they score, this is why I say you need that timeout. You can't stop the clock.
Right. And now we're behind.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's why I didn't like that timeout with 1.5 seconds to go.
It's tough.
Yep.
It's much easier to call it from here than when you're in the action.
Well, it is, and the fact that we're brilliant helps.
I mean, I tell my family I am right 80% of the time. So go with
only 80. Huh?
Go with those odds.
I'm right, strong 98%.
I'm sure you are. Let me ask your kids about that.
Sasso here to inbound this, and I don't know about you, but I'm a nervous wreck here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a quick.
Yeah, one missed play and
get it right back to her.
Sasso. Hang on to it, Maggie.
Yeah, just hold it.
Oh, back to Caps.
All right, so
Hartson.
now we're at 9-9. 20. 2 on Hartson.
Just too many opportunities here for us to make a turnover, so we got to maintain control. Caps here is going to inbound this. Again, just don't give the ball away. Hang on to it, Maggie.
Yeah, just hold it. Hold it.
I don't know why she keeps passing to Astano. To Caps.
Hold it. Okay, she got fouled.
Okay, so she got fouled again. Caps going to take a couple hard fouls.
15.
It looks like.
That's 5 on Anderson. Yeah, she had no choice. She's got to stop the clock there.
Right. Yep, she had to do something or the game was over. So Floyd's coming back out. Another one with 4 fouls, but at this point it doesn't matter.
All right, you got 4.6 seconds here.
All we got to do is not turn the ball over.
Right back to
Caps.
Maggie. Let her foul.
Hold it. Adams, I think, with this one. Yep. She came in on Caps from behind.
But Caps is going to get 2 shots, maybe 2 of the biggest free throws she's seen in her young career.
All she has to do is make us happy is hit 1.
I'd like to see both go.
Well, I'd like to see both go in too, but 1 would make it.
You got neither team has a timeout, so if it is a miss, the clock is running. That's a lot of pressure.
Yep. A lot of pressure on a young player. Caps, the junior, hit that one. So 49-47, 2-point game. Just prevent the 3. Oh, that was blocked by Dodge.
She's going to get 2 shots.
That was the clock.
0 seconds.
No.
0 seconds.
No, that was the worst call I've ever seen. I'm sorry. That's absolute.
And really came. I'm pretty sure that came after the.
Yeah. That was a lousy, lousy call. Now, I can't believe they're going to. Well, there's nothing we can do about it, but this is awful.
Yeah, there's a clock issue.
I want to see the replay on this.
Yeah, Dave, can you cue this replay? I don't know if we'll be able to see the actual clock, but. Yeah, this is a blunder by the officials. If there's technically 0 seconds, everybody comes off the floor, and only the player shooting's out there.
(48-49). That's a tie game now.
Yeah. I got every reason to believe this one's going in. Let me see this. Yeah.
We didn't see the. It wasn't cued back far enough.
Ball game.
So the.
What about the clock?
Game over for the Grizzlies.
There's no time on the clock.
Seen that replay 5 times.
Guys blew it. It was after the buzzer.
That's a playoff game there.
That's rough. There's no instant replay in high school sports, but the officials never got together to huddle to discuss the clock. The clock is an issue.
Wow.
You know, like I said, if in fact it happened before the buzzer went off, you know, the player should be pulled off the line. 100% hats off to Allard. That's to hit 3 in a row like that. Holy cow!
Well, it was unbelievable, but you know, and you got to commend the Broncos for holding it together even at halftime when it all looked bleak and glim for them. They pulled it out in the third quarter, but it's just a shame to really lose this game and end this season on really just a horrible call.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. You could look at it from 2 ways. First of all, I didn't think it was a foul at all. Morgan did not foul her. And it was the clock expired, so time was done anyways.
Yeah.
There's no reason for her to take the line for 3.
Yeah, here we go. Look
see
at
the
it.
replay again.
That was a tough angle to see, but I mean, there are zeros
what
on
you can clearly see is
zeros on
on
the game
clock
when his arm goes up. That's tough. I'll tell you what, you know, Allard hits 3. Hats off to her. Hats off to this Broncos team. They fought like heck for 2 games in this gym. You could feel it slipping away. Maggie did all she could in that fourth quarter. There just was not enough from the supporting cast.
Right. In the second half, you're right, there was not. Again, it's sort of the tale of 2 halves here.
Yeah.
I think the Grizzlies did start to put it on in the fourth quarter, but it was a case of too little too late because the Broncos held it together and, you know, didn't lose the faith. And, you know, basically on Anderson's back, the freshman, who put up a lot of points, had an unbelievable third quarter. They stifled the Grizzlies, holding them to only, 2 points or 4 points in the whole third. And, again, it's just a terrible way to leave, though, and to kind of end the season and the career of the great Maggie Sasso, who we commend and who'll go on and do great things, but it's too bad it ended this way.
Yeah, we're not going to promise any post-game interviews. There's a lot of tears going on.
I don't know what we're going to do.
We'll get what we can get.
Yeah.
But we will get the coach over here.
We'll see if we can get
you know, and the last thing I'll say about those timeouts is, you know, that's the chance down here where you had a timeout in your pocket. You could really set up, you know, Reese hits the second free throw, right? I blow my last timeout and I set up my defense. Don't foul anybody. This is what you want to do. And at that point it's helter-skelter, and sometimes there's the advantage to the offense because they can just go full speed.
Right.
Yeah. Tough ending.
It's a very tough ending. The season's over, but I will encourage all the Grizzly fans to come out in support of the Goffstown boys team.
Yeah, they'll be here
and they'll
tomorrow.
be playing tomorrow night. So
Yeah.
it's a big
They're
playoff
on
game
they're
for
on the
them.
road, though.
Oh, they're on the road.
Are they? I think they
No,
are.
they're here.
Are they?
Yeah,
Okay. All
they're
right.
here. They'll be here tomorrow night. So it should be an interesting game. So anyway, for now we're signing off, and we'll figure out what we're going to be doing after this. Thank you. And we're back live from the Grizzly Den for the Rose Between Two Thorns. And you know what? Despite the way this game ended, Miss Caps, we'd be remiss if we didn't drag you in here and make you do this.
What a game.
And give you a rose. Yeah, outstanding game, both ends of the court. I thought you played outstanding, and, terrible way to end, but, it doesn't diminish how well you played in this game. So what are the feelings, the emotions a little bit now right after the game?
I think it hurts to know, that I could have made a difference by making a free throw, and that, a lot of things could have been cleaned up, and to know that, the game comes down to, a missed free throw, it, hurts a lot, and then it makes me feel like I'm accountable for it, the loss.
Well, by no means is it on you, that's
right,
for sure.
That's true. We wouldn't be in the position if it weren't for you.
The one thing, you took a charge earlier in the game, and I watched it coming up the floor. I don't know if you were fist pumping because you finally got a charge called, or was there some side bet with the team? I don't know. Explain the charge to me.
So the first one to take a charge would get ice cream.
Ah?
Yeah.
Well, count us in. We want ice cream. That's funny.
Well, that is good. That's really good.
That's a win.
So listen, moving on to trying to get over this, ripping the scab off here. But anyway, let's talk about next season. I mean, this was sort of like more or less a comeback year for you in the varsity squad. You played JV. You were a key contributor to the JV team last year. Should have been varsity. I mean, you would have been varsity. I think it was up to you. But anyway, you're gonna be looked at as really an important leadership role on the team next year. Is that something you're looking forward to? And what is your thinking going into next year?
I'm just thinking to put a lot of work in the off season to help me get more into that role, because we have a lot of gaps to fill with Maggie leaving. We have a lot of holes to fill, so we have to figure that out.
Yeah, and it's never easy to move on, and each year there's a special bond between the teammates. I guess to piggyback Bob's question is, give us one thing that you want to improve on this summer.
Shooting. Yeah.
Is that from jump shots or in the paint everywhere?
Everywhere. Yeah, I want to really work on that.
Well, you were draining them right out here. I thought a couple of them were threes, but you said your foot was on the line.
Yeah.
So. You have that one little step.
Kicks out,
Yeah, we get that little foot to hang back, or one size smaller on the shoe, and then you'll probably have it. Yep. So that was good. But love the aggression, love the the forced turnovers and stuff like that. You played a hell of a game. I wouldn't, as far as you go, don't take any responsibility for it. It was just sort of a calamity of errors in that third quarter.
Team effort.
And right. You win as a team, you lose as a team. It was still, even though it didn't end good, it doesn't take away from a very good season you guys had, 13-5 going into the playoffs. So. That was pretty good. I'm impressed with that, and I'm going to be impressed with watching you, I'm sure, next year. Is there anything like that?
No, congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
We'll be ready to come back and see you next year and Get you a few more roses in your backpack.
There you go. Yeah, a couple more roses. So just shake it off tonight. You're fine.
That's right.
Just move on. It's only basketball.
Yeah.
You'll move on. All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, good
Thank
job.
you.
Again. And here we are, Grizzly fans, live from the Grizzly Den with another Rose of the Game. It's Miss Maggie Sasso. Tough way to end it, but you know what? You had a hell of a season and a hell of a game.
And a hell of a career.
And
Thanks,
yes, a
guys.
hell of a career here. I mean, one of only 4 young ladies ever hit 1,000 points. That's not something that even happens a lot in the entire league, for that matter. I mean, I want to look at all the positives. So that's what we're gonna focus on. So, what are some of the highlights from this season that you're going to take into your college life and your life after Grizzly basketball?
At a personal level, definitely the 1,000 points. That will stick with me for forever. As a team note, I wasn't expecting to be this close with this team, so just to be able to have that connection it meant everything to me, just losing so many people last year. But the freshmen stepping up was like a big thing for me, and I'm so proud of them for that.
Well, you have to promise you'll watch us next year.
Oh,
from
of
South
course.
Carolina. Dave will be checking the clicks to see who's watching us all over the country.
That's right.
We'll give you shout-outs. Don't worry about that.
Oh, please do.
You had a heck of a second half. According to my book here, 17 in the second half. There were shots that just didn't fall in the first half that were starting to fall in the second half.
Yeah, for sure.
So in your mind in that second half, what was your mindset offensively? What do I got to do?
I just knew I had to do what I do, and that's score. Obviously, we didn't pull it out, but I'm proud of how I played in the second half, and that it would be tough to come out of this game with regret. So I'm glad I don't have any.
Good, absolutely.
Well,
that's the way to play it.
You shouldn't have any regrets. Certainly you carried this team on your back, and being perfectly honest, going into this season, I did not think, as much as I love you girls, I did not think this was a 13-win team.
Yeah.
You won a lot of tight contests, a lot of close games.
Yeah.
So we're proud of you from that end, and I know you're going to do great things in the future. I don't know. There's not much really to say about tonight's game. I'm very disappointed in the officiating, but I think I've already made that
Fair
point.
enough.
I had to hold him back. He was ready to charge.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you guys are sitting right here. You tell me.
It's questionable. Let's say that.
It was brutal from the clock point of view, from whether or not she got her hand on her or not.
It's an interesting call.
It
that
is.
close.
Yeah,
very.
in this kind of game. But,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. The one thing I'll take is watching Maggie grow I think we talked about it a couple times.
Literally
about,
and figuratively.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, but just into a fine young lady. I remember your 7th grade days where if Maggie couldn't get the ball to the bucket and didn't go her way, she take her out, coach, because the tears were flowing. I watched you even tonight in that first half. Things didn't go your way. The ball didn't find the bucket, and you just would rise up, and you were in foul trouble, but you knew that there are other things I can do to contribute. So I'm impressed when you can see somebody mature and develop like you. So, again, a heck of a career, even more than these 4 years. I've seen you 6 years now. It's really cool to watch. You have 2 big fans right here. We're big. Now that he can pronounce your last name correctly.
Yeah, I know. I hardly ever got it wrong.
It took him a year, but we've been so impressed with you over these years.
Thank you, guys.
So,
Thank you.
That's right.
Heck of a career.
Yeah, it was a heck of a career and a heck of a season. And you're one thing they can never take away from you, Maggie. You're in the 1,000-point club.
That's right.
And
That's true.
That's a rare feat. So I wish you great things for the future. And we're going to sign out, and we'll get Largy in here for his
drilling.
beating. All right. Thank you. We are Grizzly fans, and we're live from the Grizzly Den with Coach's Corner and Coach Largy. And you know what? I'm going to kick this over to Rob to ask the first question. Sorry, Rob, to put you on the spot.
Well, I'll tell you, you brought up a good point as you sat down. This is the first loss interview we've had to do. That's tough in itself, and it happens in a playoff game to a team you just saw last Friday night in a dogfight.
Yep.
When I got the bracket, I said, uh-oh. This is going to be a heck of a game. And it didn't disappoint. There were some runs in there and separations, but it was a heck of a game. What's your takeaway from tonight?
Really proud of the way we started.
Yeah.
Great first quarter, I think. The challenges that we had, we knew coming into today that we were going to be without Meredith with an injury. And, so we knew people were going to have to step up. And then, first quarter, Maggie picks up 2. And now it's like, now we really have to step up. And then we have maybe one of our best first quarters of the season with 2 important key players on the bench, and we go up 17-6 at the end of the first quarter. And, that just speaks to the testament of this team and our depth and our belief. And unfortunately, I think we got caught on the back foot coming out at halftime. We knew they were going to be more aggressive. We knew they were going to make a run. And then I think in the third quarter, Hartson, Anderson for them both, attacked the basket.
Yeah.
We help was a little slow. Initial defense probably not good enough on some of those drives. So they chipped their way back in the game. But in playoff basketball, that's going to happen, right? No lead is safe. And so then we responded again in the fourth quarter, and I'm really, again, proud of the way we responded. And this was always going to be what a playoff game was going to be, and at some point, there's only one team that's left at the end of the day. It's hard to lose like that. Like there's no way to sugarcoat that, but but I can't express enough gratitude and how much respect and that I have for our players, their effort, their commitment, their level of compete, and all of that.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah, clearly there's a lot of players. You got some great seniors that are going to be leaving. None more valuable, really, than Maggie in the season she had. And we were telling her she should be very proud of all the accomplishments throughout her career and really the growth she's had and her maturity. And the thing is, too, is that she demonstrated a little bit tonight because not only, she was shooting a lot in the first half. They weren't really going in for her. Fourth quarter, it looked like she put the team on her back, and she started really scoring 17 in the second half.
That's phenomenal, and completely we've come to expect it. It's such a luxury to be able to have a player that you're like, well, she's going to be fine in the second half. We don't have to worry about Maggie. And sure enough, if we don't have that, we don't. We don't stay alive in the fourth quarter. I think, she's grown amazing. That's what we talked about, at the end of the game, because kind of like all the seniors should try to, express to them what they've meant to this program for the last 4 years. And, there aren't many Maggie Sassos in the world. There's not many, any of them. Penny Annis's, Abigail Stun. There's definitely not many Ella Malowins in the world, that's for sure. There's only one of those. And God, we love her. And Gemma Panarian. And just what an incredible group of kids that I've been fortunate enough to coach that have just given so much to the program. Maggie, obviously, yeah, and that's exactly what I said to her. Your fourth quarter says it all about you and the progress and the growth that you've made as a player and as a leader on this team.
Right. Yeah, if you're going to write a final chapter of a personal goal or a personal story, she nailed it.
Yeah.
She just nailed it in second. The team outcome wasn't where you wanted to be, but she nailed it. She did all the little things right to get this team right to the end. We had Caps in here. Very impressed with her tonight. We've had Abigail that last game, and in my pregame keys, it was, who's going to step up tonight?
Yep.
There's got to be that one. And when we found out Winterburn wasn't in here, I thought, well, maybe 2 have to step up tonight. Who was it going to be? Tonight it was Caps. At times I thought the bigs looked really good inside, and Ella and Penny gave you some
they did
some offense inside and some rebounding that we haven't seen consistently. But
Reese still also, you know,
Yeah.
big important
Big
minutes for
minutes,
us.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and Dodge hit the threes. I mean, it was like,
Yep.
you know, it just
Yeah.
who's going to step up? So, snapshot, we got to move forward at some point, and there's good people in this system to move forward.
Oh,
Proud
yeah,
of all-
absolutely.
proud
I
of
mean,
all of them.
we have 4 seniors, 5 seniors with Gemma. I mean, that are moving on. But I mean, that means you got 7, 8 varsity level kids that are ready to step in and play.
Yeah.
That have gotten quite a bit of experience over the last year. I think anytime you're only losing 4 or 5, I mean, you're in a good place, and that's kind of where you want to be. So we always knew this. We had the potential for these kids to step up. You see it in a playoff game, which, you know, that's a pretty big moment to step up, and you're going to see that for the next couple of years with the group.
Absolutely.
That'll be coming back. That'll continue to be coming back.
Yeah.
You know, as final note on this game, it's a real tough way to lose. But I am curious to what the officials were saying about the clock there at the end. By the way, the replay is not as revealing as we'd like it to be. But I'm sitting right here. Literally, it happened in front of me.
Yeah.
I stood up. I banged the table. I almost tipped it over. I was about to kill
Yeah.
somebody. Rob had to hold me
I
back.
didn't really get much clarification. I asked for a couple times, and they said that the buzzer hadn't gone off, and so that there was under you know, a tenth of a second or whatever gets shown on the clock, and even at that point, you know, I still wasn't sure why wouldn't we clear the court? Why, like, if we're not going to inbound the ball, you know, to me it was very confusing at the end, and it's not an easy job. It's a very difficult job, especially a playoff game where, you know, it's going to be one way or the other. If they missed it, or, you know, if they hadn't called foul, I'm sure they would have been upset over here. So I mean, you're going to have people that are upset either way at you. But just clarity, you know. That's the one thing you'd like to get is just like let's talk about what happened, right? And
I was hopeful there would be a conversation, you know, girls go to the bench, we're going to talk this through.
Yep.
And there wasn't. And I said to Bob, I said, if there clearly is 0 seconds, then everybody's off the floor but the shooter. And they let everybody stay.
Right.
So that means there is time on the clock. They should have talked it over. And if it's .1, at .1, you still can't get a shot off in .1. But
no, but
the fact there's time on the clock.
Yeah.
It had to have had a foul before that buzzer. So,
Yeah, that's the thing. It was a terrible way to end, and you know, one of the things we pointed out about the officiating, and I know, you know, we are homers. I'm going to admit it, but you know, the thing is that you know,
unbiased.
I felt there was a difference between the first half and the second half, the way they were calling the games, things they were letting go in the first half where they were letting them play. I liked the pace of the first half. I mean, part of it can be argued, I suppose, where, well, did you like it because we came out ahead and because we dominated the first half? Well, yeah, maybe that was part of it, but I just felt like things were being let go. And then in the second half, there was a lot of calls, both ways, ticky-tacky, a lot of fouls, even taking the last foul out of it.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, my message to our kids is, you know, there's things you can control and there's things you can't control, right? And then we just keep, try to control the things that matter to us. You know, we probably, you know, there's a couple possessions in that game that if you know, we pay a little bit more attention to the ball and, you know, taking care of it, we don't give up, you know, we box out better. We, you know, that margin is never just the margin in the moment. It's the margin that happened in the first 3 quarters. And so, you know, we kind of said, you know, we don't want to leave anything on the table in the first, second, third quarter that's going to make it, you know, a situation like that at the end of the game. Unfortunately, that's what happens in playoff basketball.
And it was only 1 quarter we lost, but it was the key quarter. I mean, apparently, because got to give them credit for staying in it.
We appreciate the time you've taken all season with us. We try to not put you on the hot seat, but it's good insight. We're not in the locker room, and the fans aren't in there, and we get to learn a little bit about what's being said in the huddle or in the locker room, and I think that's important because the game is so complex, and there's so many things that happen. I thanked Bob early on, the GTV crew. Your assistant coaches are phenomenal. We get here early enough to see most of the JV game, and what Coach Bracey's done with that JV squad.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Yep.
And it speaks to your leadership. It speaks to the program's maturity and composure that, Goffstown is on the map for girls basketball. They really are.
Can't say enough good things about the support that we have everywhere. Just the administration, the teachers, we get some fans tonight, which is good. And so it's just and you guys, what you do is you kind of bring us out to the masses, and that's a super important thing. We get people watching you. Give John Winterburn a shout out in Texas. He's always gonna be watching these. He's this is important work. So thank you so much for your.
Well, it's our pleasure.
We love doing it, and we're up for negotiation. And I want to make sure that your contract was picked up, so you will be back coaching next year, correct?
We'll see. You got to get some negotiations, and I don't think there's a playoff bonus this year. So, we'll look at the contract again, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
My people will talk to Coach Huff's people,
and we'll see.
Step back and enjoy some family time, and give those girls a hug.
All right, we're signing off. It was a great season. So thanks, Goffstown fans. Bye bye.
Thank you.